I actually want to expand on something you mentioned.
Sure.
How would you kind of structure yourself in the first 5 or so minutes of meeting a person for coffee?
So I think it depends on the reason for you meeting them. If you're meeting that individual because they're in a sector or industry that you want to be in and you're in a totally different area, then I think it's just about being as open as upfront as possible. And that communication would be in advance of you actually meeting them. So let's say it's a situation where it's a blind phone call or a blind email. You need to lay out the intent. This is the intent. I would like to meet with you. I came across your name either through an introduction or through LinkedIn or whatever. I'm interested in getting into your area for XYZ reasons. Here's a brief bio of myself, and again, don't write an essay. It's just a brief bio of myself. This is who I am, and would appreciate you if it's possible for you to spare 15 to 20 minutes to meet with me over a coffee. If that person accepts, then they already know what the basis behind the meet is, and it's just about being very open from that perspective. If you're reaching out to someone because, let's say, there's a specific role that's available, and you want to apply to this role, but you're not necessarily sure if you're a good fit. Like, you need to be very transparent and open with it, right? Because the reality is that you don't want to invite someone out for coffee or ask for coffee, you get a coffee, meet, and you didn't disclose the fact that you wanted to apply to a specific role under them, and then it comes out.
And before we go on, is it okay to say you're asking them for coffee because you want a job? Because I've had that problem, like, so I don't know if I want to ask them if I'm looking for a job, I don't know if I want to just meet them. So what would your advice be? My advice would be, I wouldn't ask someone to meet for coffee I wouldn't be as direct as I want a job. The reality is that if that person doesn't know you, there are probably tons of other people out there that's reaching out to them for that. So I think you need to be a little bit more thoughtful in how you reach out to them. But the reality is that it's okay to say, I'm currently exploring career opportunities. Again, just depending on how the introduction was made. And one of the things I was taught is, and you shouldn't network when you need a job. So if there's an area that you're interested in, there's a company you're interested in, reach out and try to get informational interview sessions, informational networking sessions. Take someone out for a coffee. Hey, I'm interested in getting into a similar role to what you're getting into sometime in the future. I know there's gaps between my skill sets now, education, skill sets now, relative to what's required for that, to get into that role. However, I'd like to get your feedback on things I could take, things I can do to get there. And just doing things like that, that's networking. You build a network. Along the process, you'll meet people that you really enjoy talking to, and they really enjoy talking to you. And you met people that will be willing to continue the dialogue and provide you with that informal mentorship, guidance, or at least they know who you are, right? Because it's also an opportunity for you to present yourself and showcase yourself without a job being available. And if a job becomes available, you never know. And you apply for a job, it's like, Alan, I met this guy. I thought he was well-spoken, articulate. He seemed very motivated. He was trying to understand how best to position himself for this role. So it just shows the individual that you're not coming into, or you're not applying to the role with a sense of entitlement. It's like you really were trying to see how best you could develop yourself to be ready for that role. So whenever you apply for that role, it can help.